What's going on YouTube? KREESE here. Today I'm going to show you a video on how to remove a throttle cable from a two-stroke dirt bike, or any dirt bike really for that matter. So there'll be different variations to each one, but for the most part they're about the same. This is a 2001 KX250 Kawasaki two-stroke that I have here, and what I want to show you here, I got a key and carb. I went ahead and I removed the top plate, which I'll show you all how to do that, and from there all you do, you have these cables, which this one here, I'll show you the problem that I was having, the reason I removed it, but this is the cable that goes down into the carburetor. This cable here comes up, kind of snakes through here. I'll show you all how to run that. It goes up here behind your little nameplate up front and goes into the hand grip, which you have right here, and it wraps up in there, which I'll show you all that in just a second. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have over here on the bench and what my issue was. Alright, so if y'all can see here, this is my cable. This cable here I picked up, and this top piece, which I'll show you the reason I had to get this. I picked this up at a motorcycle salvage yard, a local salvage yard that gets parts in. They just stripped down this bike. This came off a 99 KX250, and I'm going to show you all the problem that I had. And y'all can see this here. And I don't know, maybe someone has had a similar problem before in the past, but anyway, this is the problem I was having. I'll show y'all this. If y'all can see this here, this is the top of the carburetor, and there's the two Allen screws that you can see right here. Okay, I'll tell you all the size in just a second, but you remove these, this comes up, alright, and this goes in your slide in your carb. Okay, this is the problem I had. If y'all can see here, the piece that attaches, that connects right here, alright, we've already screwed it out and got rid of it, but there's a piece, this screws into here. The piece that went in here, the little locking nut that you can see on this one that's in good shape, you can see here that's all together, all one piece, right? Alright, this one was broken. It may be hard to tell, but you can see where there's a crack here. The threads were kind of messed up right in there. That's the problem I had. It broke right in this piece. So I was having, my cable was coming through here, and it kept grabbing. I was getting a lot of nicks up in this cable, and my throttle kept sticking. It got progressively worse, and when I did some investigating, went down to here to see, I saw that it was broke, and this cable was catching right here, and it was causing a rub and drag, and it's nicked my cable up a pretty good bit. So I pulled this off, found out that, if y'all can see, this piece is pretty much pressed into the top here. There's no replacing that, and the only way to really do it is just to take this piece off, which is what I've done here. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit, because it is kind of nasty looking. I don't know which gasket looks better. I feel like this one looks a little bit better. But we'll see. Take this right here, clean this up some. All this stuff works nice and smooth and moves just fine in here, so y'all can see that there. No problems. You know, with the cable and stuff, everything's working nice and smooth. So we'll clean this up, and I'll put this back on my carb and pretty much show y'all how to run and route the cable, and how to run it up in the hand grip and what you have up there. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna clean this up and we'll get started. Alright, so we've got this cleaned up about as much as I can with some carb cleaner and a little toothbrush is what I usually use to get in here and kind of clean these little parts up pretty good, an old rag. One thing I'm gonna do here, and I want to tell y'all, I did pick this cable and this top piece up for 25 bucks, which is pretty reasonable, because if I was to go to Kawasaki and order this part and all this stuff, you're talking up in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Probably don't even sell this. I'd probably have to buy a new carburetor, so that really helped out. One thing here, y'all can see this rubber piece is busted. I'm going to remove that. You see mine is in great shape, so I'm going to take it off and go ahead and put it on this one. Also, there's a little nick right here on that cable, but I'm going to take just a little bit of solder with a soldering gun and just kind of put on there and just maybe smooth that out a little bit. Alright, so we got a little bit of solder here on this cable. Make it a little bit stronger in that area, smooth it out just a little bit. Might not have done a whole lot, but makes me feel better. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this old cable off of there. and this old piece right here, and we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and put my new one on. Alright, so the time has come to replace the top of the carb with the new cable, and I'm going to show y'all what I did. Now this is a quick kind of down and dirty. All I did was loosen this clamp here that goes to the intake, loosen this clamp here that goes to the air box, and I just kind of rotated the carb this way, didn't unplug, disconnect anything, just moved it down here enough where you could gain access to the top here. And I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how to put this bad boy back together, so hang on. Alright y'all, so one more thing before we head over to the bike. I have the little slide here with your little needle valve, goes down to the carb. I wanted to show y'all how your cable attaches here. If you can see in there, all you do is you just push this past this slot inside, and as soon as it drops down in, it's good, and you're in like Flynn right there. So it's in there. To get it out, you would just push it a little past, bring the cable out, and it comes out. But this is it, and that's how you do it. Not really a whole lot to it, y'all, but anyway, this is it. Alright guys, so we went ahead, we got this piece down here, as you can see. This down in there, this is your top. This piece sits, it only goes on there one way. So now that that's down in there, what we can do is go ahead and you can take this, like I said, you know, showed you how to do it, but you'll just take that cable, thread it down in there in that groove, hook it in there, and put your top of your carb back on. And then from there, all we have to do is run this cable back up and route it up to our hand grip. And once we get it up to the hand grip, I'll show y'all how to put that in there. Like I said guys, this is tricky because you have to put the spring over like this and then get your cable, compress it and get your cable down in there so it's on. Then you can put this on the carb. So when it's on, it looks like this. Alright, so with the top piece reassembled, like I said, a little Allen head screw, and I will show y'all that on this little set here, this is the number 3 on this little set that I have. So this is how it looks, this is how it should look. You got your cable, it runs all the way out to here. Now we're going to go ahead and just kind of route this cable up. We'll find a nice little spot for it to snake up through here and come up behind here to our grip. So with this on, y'all can hear that and see that. Cable works, there's tension on it, y'all can hear the slide moving up and down the carb. So we're going to go ahead and route this cable up here. Alright, so looking at the carb, and don't forget, now when we get everything back together, you go ahead and tighten these screws back down to hold these clamps on to the intake and to the air box. But you can see here I've got my cable run up this way, follow it through, go see this little part here on the frame, up around behind the plate. Now we're right here where we need to be, so I'm going to go ahead. You got 2 Phillips head screws here. We'll pull this off and I'll show y'all what this looks like on the inside. Alright y'all, so what I did was you have to screw this piece in to right here so you have slack on the cable. So this piece needs to go into the grip right here. Right here, this wheel that I was showing y'all, this goes in here. What I did was I put all this together. Your cable goes down and fits in this loop right here, you can see right there. So you have this wheel here, and I'm gonna hold it so you can see when you turn it, it just rotates on that wheel inside. So now you just put this cover back on with the 2 Phillips head screws. The longer one is going to go in here, and put your cover back on. We'll go ahead and adjust it over here at the carburetor, because what I had to do was I took on here on the carb, I took this piece of cable off because when I had to wind the other one in there, it was getting a lot of tension on it, twisting this line. So I took it off from here. So now that I have that on, we'll take and we'll, you know, kind of go the other way, tighten it up on here some. Phillips head screw, tighten down that clamp, cable's in good positions, you can see coming out the housing. Got it adjusted here. I need to tighten that back up real quick. Cables run all the way to the top, up here to our grip. Everything's good. And that's how you change the throttle cable and put it back together. I'm KREESE. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.